Hi, my name is Ravi. Welcome to my channel Payment Talks. Welcome to the second part of the three-part video series on the ISO agents and parties. In this video, we cover the payment processing agents: debtor agent, instructing agent, instructed agent, creditor agent, along with creditor and ultimate creditor. Please do watch the first part for more clarity before moving further. Now we move from payment initiating agents to payment processing and clearing agents. First of the agents is debtor agent. The debtor agent in ISO payment messages is the financial institution responsible for servicing the account of the debtor, the payer. This agent facilitates the debit of the debtor's account and the transmission of the payment funds to the next party in the chain. Key characteristics of the debtor agent are: the debtor agent manages the debtor's account from which the payment funds are debited. It acts as a mediator between the debtor and the payment chain, ensuring the transfer of funds to the creditor or intermediary agents. The debtor agent processes the payment based on the instructions provided by the debtor or an authorized initiating party. In most ISO messages, the debtor agent is a required element. Refer to the earlier examples for more clarity on the debtor agent. Next, we discuss about another important agent called creditor agent. The creditor agent in ISO payment messages is the financial institution that services the account of the creditor or beneficiary. It is responsible for receiving the payment funds on behalf of the creditor and crediting the funds to their account. Key characteristics of the creditor agent are: the creditor agent manages the creditor's account and ensures that the funds are credited to the appropriate account. It receives the payment from the debtor agent directly or through one or more intermediary agents. The creditor agent is usually the last financial institution in the payment processes before the funds are delivered to the creditor. In most ISO messages, the creditor agent is a required element. Refer to the earlier examples for more clarity on the creditor agent. Next, we discuss about creditor. The creditor in ISO payment messages is the party who is the beneficiary of the payment funds. It is the entity, that is a person, business or organization, and sometimes a bank, that is meant to receive the payment and whose account is credited by the creditor agent. Key characteristics of the creditor are: the creditor is the party for whom the payment is intended, and they are the final recipient of the funds in the payment chain. The creditor is identified by their account information such as IBAN, International Bank Account Number, or other account identifiers. The creditor's account is typically held with the creditor agent, which ensures the payment is credited to the creditor. The creditor field is required in ISO payment messages. Refer to the earlier examples for more clarity on creditor. Now we look at ultimate creditor. The ultimate creditor in ISO payment messages is the final party who is the actual beneficiary of the funds, even if it differs from the creditor. It represents the true recipient of the payment in cases where the funds are credited to an intermediary or proxy account before reaching the final beneficiary. Please note, CBPR Plus premise is that an ultimate creditor has no financial regulated direct account relationship with the corresponding creditor. Key characteristics of the ultimate creditor are: the ultimate creditor is the entity, a person or organization that ultimately benefits from the payment, regardless of the account finally credited. While often the creditor and ultimate creditor are the same, they can differ in complex payment arrangements, such as when a payment is routed through a proxy or intermediary. The ultimate creditor is an optional element in ISO messages. It provides additional detail in the payment chain, enhancing clarity and regulatory compliance. Let us look an example to understand better. Person A initiates a payment via his bank A to a retirement care facility to pay the fees of one of its residents named X. Bank A processes the payment to Bank B, which holds the account of the retirement care facility. Bank B reports the credit of funds to retirement care facility, and retirement facility updates its records for the payment of resident X. Here, person A is called as debtor. Bank A is called as debtor agent. Bank B is called as creditor agent. Retirement care facility is called as the creditor as its account receives the amount. Resident X is called as ultimate beneficiary as he or she is the actual beneficiary of the services the P is paying for. Now we move to the next set of dynamic agents, instructing and instructed agents. First, we discuss about instructing agent. The instructing agent in payment messages refers to the financial institution that sends the payment instruction to the next party in the payment chain. It acts as the sender of a payment message, relaying the instructions to the next intermediary or to the recipient's financial institution. Instructing agent is a dynamic in nature, where it holds different financial institution information throughout the payment chain. Key characteristics of the instructing agent are: the instructing agent is responsible for initiating and transmitting a payment message to the next agent in the chain. It can be the debtor agent, an intermediary agent, or any other financial institution involved in the payment process. It is identified as the sender of the message in the specific payment chain step. The instructing agent is mandatory element for tracing the source of the payment instruction and maintaining accountability. Next, we discuss about instructed agent. The instructed agent in ISO payment messages refers to the financial institution that receives a payment instruction from the instructing agent. It acts as the recipient of the message and is responsible for taking the next step in the payment chain based on the received instructions. Key characteristics of the instructed agent are: the instructed agent is the financial institution that receives the payment message from the preceding institution, which is instructing agent. The instructed agent processes the payment according to the received instructions, which might include crediting the funds, forwarding the payment, or conducting compliance checks. It can be the creditor agent, an intermediary agent, or another financial institution, depending upon the step in the payment process. The instructed agent field ensures traceability and accountability at every step of the transaction. Let us now look at an example to see how the instructing and instructed agents change their information as we move in the payment chain. A person P is initiating a payment to another person Q. P's bank is A, Q's bank is E. There are three intermediary banks, namely B, C, D, via whom the payment will be processed from bank A to bank E. For the payment to get completed, there are four legs. First leg, bank A processing payment to bank B. Intermediary leg 1, bank B processing payment to bank C. Intermediary leg 2, bank C processing payment to bank D. Final leg, bank D processing payment to bank E. In this example, we focus only on instructing and instructed agents. In the first leg chain, bank A, though it is debtor agent, it is also the instructing agent of the payment. Bank B, which is the first intermediary bank in the chain, is now instructed agent. In the intermediary leg 1 chain, bank B, which was instructed agent in the previous chain, now became the instructing agent. Bank C, which was one of the intermediary agents in the original payment chain, has now become the instructed agent. In the intermediary chain 2, bank C, which was instructed agent in the previous chain, now became the instructing agent. Bank D, which was one of the intermediary agents in the original payment chain, has now become the instructed agent. In the final leg chain, bank D, which was instructed agent in the previous chain, now became the instructing agent. Bank E, which was creditor agent all the while, will still be a creditor agent, but also in this final leg, it is instructed agent as well. Please note, Bank A and Bank E, which were debtor agent and creditor agent, will remain as same throughout the payment life cycle. This confirms the static role of debtor agent and creditor agent, who holds the accounts of debtor and creditor respectively. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share for more such interesting topics on payments.